Coming up next, I'm going to unbox and review one of the latest releases from Fragrance du Bois. This is New York Intense. One of the coolest packages you'll ever see if you've never seen Fragrance du Bois, so stay tuned. Welcome back everybody. This is Joel the Nose, and today I've got a very special treat. This is a very special unboxing, okay? I don't do a ton of unboxings for whatever reason, but maybe it's because, I don't know. I guess maybe I'll do more of them, but this is the latest, one of the latest and greatest from Fragrance du Bois. This is New York Intense. This is an eau de parfum. This just came out in 2020. So again, especially in these COVID times, a relatively new fragrance. And for those of you who don't know, Fragrance du Bois, the house, the French house, you see it says pure oud, pure luxury. Their kind of claim to fame, or one of their signatures or characteristics, is that they grow their own sustainable oud at their own oud farms. In fact, they sell it to basically a lot of the really high-end niche fragrance companies. It's produced here. Their oud, they typically will age kind of like a fine whiskey or scotch for, I think, a couple years. So the oud is just really next level if you're an oud fragrance lover. So this is, again, New York Intense. I wanted to do the unboxing because this is so special. Let's get right in. I'll do the unboxing and then I'll get into a little bit more about the fragrance and then talk about. So here you go. You kind of, it's one of these boxes that comes off the top. And then you have a square. And on the back, you have information about the house and about the fragrance. You have the batch number at the bottom. All right, this is how it opens. Look at this, check this. So this kind of unfolds almost like a boat, like a tanker. And then the box slides out and you have, this is a felt box. And you've got the Fragrance du Bois label on the front. And then look at that. Look at that beauty. It sits in this red velvet, almost like a casket. Such a cool thing. Anyways, you can see the bottle in there. This I pull out. So this is a really cool piece of information. I've never opened it, but I think I know what's in here. Let's see. So this is a little piece of paper. And then it says, at Fragrance du Bois, our promise to you is that we only use 100% pure, sustainable, and the highest quality natural perfume oils and extracts from sustainable sources. So, and to go further, basically, yes, so that is like their little card. Pretty cool. Comes in like a little container there. Just, a little bit about the brand. There's some more information here about the brand. Goes to their website. So, again, they're talking about what they're known for, the really high quality materials. Now, as you can see, the bottle sits very firmly, snugly, and securely in there, and you pull it out. Okay, I'm going to put the box, you can see, again, the box there. It's really nice, almost like a coffin, not to be macabre or whatever. And then you have the bottle itself. So here you go. If you've never seen Fragrance du Bois, this is just beauty. It has something on the back. It says, an original perfume by Fragrance du Bois, born in nature, crafted in France. And then on the bottom, you just have, again, some more information, the size of the bottle, the fragrance. Look at the juice. You can see it there. The juice is kind of like a lightish color. It's not dark amber color. This is kind of a lighter color, yet lighter yellowish or light amber. You have the top, which fits very snugly. And you have, of course, the top of the cap, which is really beautiful with these little kind of like black, almost like stones around. Now, this is part of their Fashion Capital series. I think they've done one from Milan. They've done one for Paris. They've done one from London. It's called London Oud. And then they've done one from New York. It's part of their Fashion Capital series. And this one comes in 2 bottles. There's also one that has like American flag, like red, white, and blue, kind of like flag looking thing around the back here around the symbol. This is the traditional one. All right. All right. Let me get right into this now. I'm not going to go. I've already spent a lot of time because part of this is the unboxing. It is the coolest, one of the coolest boxes you'll ever own. If you've never owned Fragrance du Bois, it's just next level. Okay. But when you get this, okay, this is again 100 ml bottle, retails for about anywhere from $275 to $300 basically. And I'm not going to go over all the notes. There's just a lot of stuff going on here. But the reason why I'm saying this, sometimes you just have to smell and words aren't sufficient to describe. This is one of those fragrances that when I first smelled it about roughly a month ago, it just, I don't want to say took my breath away because that's too cliche. It intoxicated me. It grabbed me. It shook me. It turned me around. It threw me through the washer. And then it spit me out and said, how do you feel now? That's how I felt when I first smelled it. And very few fragrances that I smell, because I obviously smell a lot. I get my nose on a lot of stuff. That's part of my hobby. It's part of my, I don't want to say my job, but you know, it's part of my YouTube channel. That's what I do as a reviewer. This thing just totally surprised me. Now, you're going to see some people talk about this as being a, quote, clone of Jubilation Man from Amouage that came out, years ago. I will say this, if you look at the note breakdown, there's a lot of similarities. I don't know, maybe 70% similar note breakdown. But Jubilation Man, and I like that, don't get me wrong. That's strictly a masculine fragrance. This is definitely a unisex fragrance. And although it lends more masculine, there's no doubt, to me, this is going to be a beast mode masculine fragrance for myself. But there is the initial smell, and I'm going to spray it right now. I've already worn this a bunch of times, but oh, another thing, Fragrance du Bois atomizers are second to none. You can control the spray, so you can literally like go up and down. It's almost like spraying a hose outside where you can, gauge the pressure. That's what these things are like. So, I hate to almost waste this. It's so sexy. It's so animalic. It's musky at the top, and there is musk in here. It's musky. It's a little citrusy from some orange blossom. It's also got a little bit of a nutty quality at the top, which Jubilation Man to me doesn't have. But again, Jubilation Man, although it's a great fragrance, this to me is like, it took it to a whole nother level if you want to compare the two, if you want to kind of know what this smells like. It is so sexy. It's warm. It's spicy. There's kind of like cinnamon at the top. It gives a little spicy sweetness. It's daring. I would even say it's a little dangerous. This, by the way, is again called New York Intense. And if you read about it, they developed this to try to capture the essence of New York City in the summer. And it totally gets it. It reminds me of walking through New York and the streets are hot and they're warm and they're steaming and you're maybe kind of sweating a little bit and you're like anxious because, it's New York and maybe it's a little dangerous and maybe you're walking around at night and you're in the meatpacking district and you're going to a club and you're trying to find out what's happening. This captures it. This is New York City summertime in a bottle. Now, it's dark, it's rich, it's sexy, it's powerful. Okay, I'm just going to kind of hold it there. It is very complex. To me, what again separates this from Jubilation is it's just more complex and it's more well blended. Everything just fits so perfectly together and it's so sexier and it's got that nutty vibe again. And it also has this tobacco vibe at the top. So I get this musky, kind of nutty, almost cigarette tobacco. It reminds me, almost in a Proustian moment, of my grandmother in Ohio when I would go there for the summers and visit when I was 6, 7, 8 years old and finding her packs of cigarettes all around the house. And I would smell them because, of course, they were forbidden fruit. So this is almost like a forbidden fruit to me. It smells, it harkens back to that beautiful kind of tobacco smell. It's slightly sweet and dark. It's got a touch of that citrus and a touch of rose at the top. And also it's got some incense. Just, again, really rich, sensual, dark, fragrance, but not too dark because again, it's got that citrus and the rose and it's kind of, therefore, kind of a little bit got this effervescentness. It reminds me of an old school 80s fragrance that was kind of reinvented in the 20s. So I don't want to say Drakkar, but I almost get, it takes me to that kind of old school Drakkar feel, but in the current modern era. And again, the fact, another differentiating factor, sorry, my English, between this and say Jubilation is the oud. To me, this is the finest oud in this price range. Yeah, you can go to Roja Dove, you can go to higher, much higher price, but for around $300, and that's still, by the way, cheaper than Jubilation, man, for a 100 ml bottle. And people were talking about this before. I've seen people talk about, well, it's more expensive. It's not, not where I see it. It's cheaper, actually, but roughly the same price, but a little bit cheaper. As it goes down to the heart note, you get this kind of creamy honey accord, and it's got cloves, and the subtleness of the oud comes in. And by the way, this is not a pungent oud. This is not a, quote, stinky oud. This is a very well-blended, mild oud. They do ouds that are more pungent and more strong. This is not for those. This is for people who are maybe a little bit afraid of oud. You don't have to be afraid of this one. It just gives it it blends in well, and it really kind of helps all the notes mix and blend together. Oud, when it's done that way, I think of a fragrance like, Oud for Greatness. Again, not a stinky oud. It's an oud that helps blend all the other elements together, like the musk and the cloves and the honey and the citrus and the cinnamon and the orange. It's a projection beast on my skin. I get it well coming around. I spray it on my arms, on my neck, on the back of my neck, and it's like for about 3 hours projecting nicely, and I get over 10 hours of wearing overall on the skin. Again, as you kind of go into that heart note, it goes in this like sweeter, creamy honey note with that, again, the touch of the oud. And as you dry down, you really go into a third stage of patchouli and vetiver with a touch of cedar. And I love it. I love patchouli. I love vetiver. And it has this kind of like hay-like quality, but almost with the chocolatiness of a patchouli. And yet the kind of neutralness, the neutrality of cedar wood. So it has a little bit of that woodiness, which I really, really like. To me, this is, again, although it's unisex, it's more masculine, but I think this will smell wonderfully on a woman. And what can I say? I started this out by saying that words sometimes do not accurately describe your feelings for a fragrance. And why is that? Because it's scientifically been shown that we don't have words that really properly describe smell. It's not like fruit, where you can say the fruit, tastes like the fruit, or even sounds or smells. We have a hard time, I'm sorry, not smells, but taste. We have a hard time encapsulating really in the human language words that really describe what we're smelling. And this is one of those fragrances that it just is done so well, so expertly crafted by such a great niche house, that this is what is, to me, makes niche house so great and so wonderful. I cannot recommend this enough. It's worth the $275 to $300, whatever you're going to spend on it to get it in your collection. It is a go out at night to the club, to a date. This is a great date night fragrance. I'm going to wear this on some dates that I have coming up, and I guarantee you it's going to be a winner. It does so well on my skin, and it also has this kind of amber-like quality, especially at the top. For the first couple hours, I don't see amber listed, but to me, it's got an amber note or an amber-like quality in it. So there you have it. Again, let me put it back in the box so you guys can see it go to sleep at night. Beautiful, again, the beautiful, beautiful presentation. And just, again, how it goes in, slides in here, goes up like that. And then right on top. And there you have it, New York Intense. This is Joel the Nose. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know, have you worn this? What do you think about it? It's kind of new, but for those of you who follow my channel and kind of like a lot of the same fragrances I do, and there's quite a few guys out there that kind of have a very similar taste to me, I think you should pick this one up. So there you have it. I'll be back soon with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, and peace and love.